Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, this is Ian with Out of This World Reader, and we're going to be doing something a little bit different today. I'm going to be doing a book chat, but on an audiobook. And that audiobook is going to be none other than the Sandman, which I believe it is just an Audible Original by kind of narrated by Neil Gaiman and some other kind of famous actors. But since I enjoyed it so much, I had to do a book chat on it. It was just that good. So this is based on the DC Comics by Neil Gaiman. I think it's Dirk Maggs, I believe, is the other one, and illustrated by lots of different people in the comics. But this is a kind of an Audible original, like I mentioned, but it's following the Sandman, aka Lord Morpheus, as he kind of goes on these adventures and faces these challenges to kind of bring back power to his realm after he was imprisoned for around 70 years, I believe, after kind of like a dark ritual gone wrong. But to bring back power to his kind of realm and just power to him again, he has to find his three tools again, and they're kind of scattered around the different realms with different people holding them, and you just follow him as he kind of tries to fight for them back. And all along that road, we've got a mix of just folktale, mythology, other DC characters kind of making appearances here and there. You got it all. I mean, there was an episode kind of involving Arkham Asylum, which I absolutely loved that episode. But it's just a dark fantasy horror. It's just a mix of all that. Going into this, I had no prior knowledge of the Sandman. But man, oh man, after listening to this, I immediately had to dive into just more of just kind of what's going on with him. I immediately bought the comics, and I'm eager to just dive into those because I've looked at the illustrations and they're horrifying, but I really want to dive into them. From the start, I was really on board with just everything that was going on. I mean, this dark ritual gone wrong, and he's kind of just imprisoned and trying to fight and get out of there. And then after that, you've got him trying to kind of travel to different realms, and through different episodes, you've kind of new challenges arise, and you just follow just him throughout his journey as he learns more about himself, kind of with the ego, and kind of it just hints on a lot of other things throughout the war, kind of like secretly in the background as well, kind of like mental health, sickness, ego, like I said, and it was just kind of like in the background a little bit, but it just found a way to touch on those along. Since he was imprisoned and just weakened, you really feel for him, and you kind of get behind him and root for him to just kind of bring back power to himself and his realm. But after that intro episode, it really just dives in different directions and branches off that somehow like it connects back to just a major plot. Like it'll touch on a different episode, kind of just like talking about mythology or folktale, and then somehow later on it will tie back in, and you get a lot more introduced to more characters. You get some of his siblings like Death and Desire. They kind of play a role in the story as well. It includes antagonists that really scare you, but just in general, like this whole audiobook was just very dark. Like I think, yeah, one episode takes place in hell. So I mean, that's gotta say something. And it's just very violent, gore, it's just throughout. So if you're into kind of all that horror, fantasy, check this out. It's got it all, mixes it all together, but with the sound effects and everything, the different cast of characters that play throughout, like it really makes it environmental, and you just like feel like you're watching a movie almost. Like I felt like I was watching like a little mini episode series on like Netflix or something like that, and I just enjoyed how kind of immersive and the vibes that I got from it. But with those sound effects, you really visualize just these dark and horrifying scenes. And like I mentioned, I am a scaredy cat, but from several of these scenes and these episodes, I feel like I'm going to have nightmares, especially that one in hell. Like that was terrible to kind of visualize in my mind, but I enjoyed it for some reason. Like it was interesting, but it was totally scary, and it freaked me out, and I kind of enjoyed being freaked out. I think the comic book series in general was actually inspired by Lovecraft and several other kind of like sci-fi and just fantasy kind of aspects. If you know anything about like the Sandman and that, please let me know, because I would like to kind of know for sure. But I can honestly say that this is probably my favorite audiobook that I've ever experienced. It was just a good time from start to finish, and I will definitely go back and listen to it all again. If you haven't checked it out yet, please go check it out soon, because I feel like you will enjoy it if you like that dark fantasy horror mix thrown all together. A great character that you root for and kind of follow his journey throughout. And I think there might be a volume 2 if Audible kind of comes out, because I believe this only covers the first volume of the comics. So if that is coming, if you know anything about that coming out in the future, please let me know, because I will definitely listen to that one as well. But those were just my quick thoughts on this audiobook. I really enjoyed it. It was an easy 5 stars, easy 5 stars. And I can't wait if they're going to produce a volume 2. Can't wait to dive into the comics that I recently bought. I know I said I wasn't going to be buying any books, but I had to buy this. Please let me know your thoughts on the Sandman if you've checked out the comics or listened to this audiobook. But that's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed this quick little video. I'll make sure to leave some links to some other videos that I recommend you check out. If you want to connect with me on social media, I'll make sure to leave those down below as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss out on another adventure. I hope you all have a good day. And as Ellie always says, adventure is out there. So I'll catch you next time. Bye.